Welcome back, guys. My name's Matthias, and yes, I am bringing you information on the upcoming 0.1.2 update. And in the description below, I will give you both links to the work in progress and, of course, some extra information about how base rating will work. So, yes, they start off the work in progress by saying that they're celebrating their 1-year anniversary, which was quite funny to me. It felt like Deadside has been existing for longer than a year. So, yeah, congrats to them. It's only been a year since it's released on Steam. And looking at the changes they've made so far, you know, even with the struggles that developers are going through at the moment, props to them, okay? They have changed quite a few things. So yes, definitely credit to them. But in any case, to get to the 0.1.2 update, you know, that will be coming quite soon. The first thing that they mention is skins. Okay, so they've noticed that a lot of people are hunting down the guns in the crates, you know, that have the cool skins on them. So what they are going to do is they are going to add to those same bunkers and other various places, they are going to be adding skin patterns, okay? Instead of just a weapon that has a skin on it, they are going to be adding an item, you know, that will appear that says skin patterns, and then you will be able to use those skins on any of your weapons, okay? And then, not in this update, in the future, they will enable players to create their own skins, okay, which they will be able to put on their guns. So that's quite cool for all of you that, you know, I know a lot of people that just hunted down those skinned guns in bunkers and like collected them. I even bought, or I sold one of my skinned guns to a guy for like, I think it was 100 or 200,000 currency, because he really wanted to add that specific gun to his collection. So, yeah, that's definitely a nice addition. So that, you know, we can skin any of the guns that we want, but we must still work, you know, for those skin patterns. But once you've collected it, you've got it. You know, so I'm going to give my thoughts on everything that they've been working on, you know, and just tell you guys what I think about it. Skins, very, very happy with that. The second one is a Steam terminal. Now, I've got some experience with the Steam terminal because of Miscreated. And yes, the Steam terminal will allow you to place items in your Steam inventory, okay, which you can trade with other players, you know, or get access to. And at the moment, in the 0.1.2 update, you'll only be able to put the skin patterns, you know, in your Steam inventory. So the fact that they mention you know, that you can, it will only be used for skin trading, okay, makes me wonder if you need to use an item to skin your gun, which it seems like you're going to need that item to skin your, you know, all your guns with that skin. You know, then you can trade those skins. Like if you get a bunch of, you know, the same skins, then you can trade it to other players, which I have no problem with. So the Steam terminal is great for the skin system, okay? What I don't like about the terminal, and they are going to test it out, guys. They are going to test it out to make sure it doesn't break the economy, you know, or anything like that. But what I don't like about the Steam inventory or this Steam terminal, which I have used in other games, is that big clans can transfer, you know, a lot of their items to other servers. Or they can jump onto an empty server and just collect a lot of stuff. And again, they can't really allow that on modded servers, because the admins can spawn in various items, okay? So it's not going to work for modded servers. So it will probably only work on official servers. But, yeah, I don't really agree with that. You know, they say they'll make it expensive, you know, to put the items into the Steam into the Steam inventory. The problem for me is that most people, I think the currency won't be too difficult to obtain. And the second thing for me is that I don't care if someone hoards, a lot of stuff, but the fact that it can be transferred, to other servers, I feel that's problematic. And it makes base raiding a bit less exciting, because the clans are definitely going to leave their most valuable loot either on their character or in the Steam inventory. Okay, so at the end of the day, you spend a large amount of time to raid a base, and then you basically just get the stuff that they were willing to lose. Okay, which still serves a purpose, but it takes a lot of excitement out of a raid. Okay, and we are going to cover the raid system that they're going to do, which will prevent people from raiding you offline. Okay, so we're going to cover that, but I give them props for trying to think of a system where you can't be raided offline, unless it's your choice. And we'll explain that later in the video. But yes, it does take some excitement out of the raiding when you can't get their best loot, because their best loot is probably in the Steam inventory or on their characters. So I'm not crazy about the Steam terminal. It's a good thing for the skins, but for me, they must either not implement the items, that you can put in your Steam inventory, or they must limit it in some manner, or they must make it quite expensive. The more valuable the item is, the lot more expensive it must be to put it in your Steam inventory. And it must be very expensive, guys, because it's basically the modded servers that are very populated, and it's very easy to join a server that's empty. And so it can be abused. Okay, so that's just my thought on the Steam terminal. Then they bring in a lot of new items. Okay, the list that I'm going to give you is not all the new items. They are increasing the items that they're going to add to the 0.1.2 update. But for now, and like I say in the description, you can go look at the images. For now, they're going to add a new military suit. Okay, then they're going to add a ghillie suit. The military suit looks quite cool, looks quite realistic. The ghillie suit I'm not crazy about, but okay, still it's not a complete, it doesn't look like a complete ghillie suit, but it's going to give you some kind of camouflage. A new combat helmet, looks good, okay. Wasn't crazy about the last combat helmet that they put into the game. Hopefully this one looks a bit cooler. New balaclava, which is always nice. New weapons, FN Scar and a FAMAS. And then new modules for weapon modifications, like extended mags, muzzle brakes, silencers, and different sights. So everyone will be crazy about the different sights, and a lot of people will be crazy about the suppressors. I hope they don't make the suppressors too silent, like if you're standing 10 meters away from a guy, you won't even hear it. It will, of course, help you a heck of a lot with AI missions, okay, so that you don't attract all the AI, but I just hope the silencer doesn't make it so that you can kill all the AI with no one noticing you shooting, The silencers can be very overpowered, especially in a fight. But I think it will motivate snipers, that want to use suppressors so that everyone doesn't, especially that large sniper rifle, okay, the 50 cal. Getting that weapon is not too easy, and it reloads very slowly, okay, so it is a bit of a. For me personally, I don't really like carrying it because it is so slow, and once you fire off a shot, it sounds like a cannon. Everyone knows you've got the gun, so the whole server comes down on you. So then it's rather better for me to just use use another sniper rifle that is much quicker to fire, doesn't have such a big delay, and that, I don't cry myself to death if I lose the weapon. So Of course, it motivates people to use that 50 cal because with the silencer, it should help you a lot. I just hope they don't make the silencers overpowered so that, you have to stand next to a guy to hear he's shooting a suppressor, or you can just walk through any mission, kill AI left or right, and no AI will notice you, okay? So I hope they get that balance right. But in any case, a lot of you will be very happy with the extended mags, and the muzzle brakes and the silencers and the sights. It's always exciting. And then, of course, the exciting stuff, an explosive tripwire and radio-controlled explosive device. Without making it complicated, a tripwire is basically just a tripwire that you attach to a grenade, and you put it at an entrance or an exit or anywhere on the map. And then when a person walks over that tripwire, the grenades are going to explode and kill him. Okay, we know grenades are very lethal. Throwing the grenades are quite frustrating because they don't travel very far, so I really don't use grenades unless I'm throwing it into a room. Okay, but there's no way you're going to catch me throwing a grenade outside unless the guy's on top of me. And by the time they're on top of me, I feel it's going to be quicker for me just to shoot them, okay? Unless I love playing on first-person servers. If you're on a third-person server, then it might help you. But again, the grenade is not very reliable. It doesn't travel very far, and it's very difficult to judge the throw, okay? Because a lot of time you're thinking you're throwing it through a window, but then the arc of the grenade is higher than the middle of your screen. Then you throw the grenade onto the top, onto the top part of the window, and the grenade ends up being a bigger danger for you than for anyone else. But again, tripwire, cool feature. Especially if you feel people are following you, placing a few of those traps behind you, while you're trying to get away is really cool. If you're a sniper with a suppressor, you can pick your spot, put a bunch of traps, tripwire traps around you, that even if a guy does get it right to sneak up on you, if he does trip the wire, he's gonna have to run, gonna have to give away his position, and then hopefully, giving you some chance to get away. Because even if you trip the wire, a timer does go off. Okay, so if you run through the wire, it's possible that you might not die. Okay, if they shorten that timer, I'd like that. But realistically, if the tripwire pulls out the pin, the grenade has a few seconds, like 5 or 3 seconds before it explodes. So again, you can use those tripwires for various reasons. You can use the tripwires around your base. If you're scared that people are going to try and camp you and wait till you get to your base to use this new rating system that we're going to talk about. And then the radio-controlled explosive device that they're talking about is C4, guys. It's as simple as that. It's C4. You're going to have to put it against a certain part of the base. You can't put a C4 down and blow up 5 or 10 parts, okay? The explosive device will only be able to destroy one specific part, okay? So for people that love building extremely big bases, and compartmentalizing every single room, that's going to prove very difficult for people that are raiding you, because they say the C4 parts are going to be very rare. But, if you are willing to build a massive base with like 20 compartments, then it's going to take a heck of a lot of C4, because they say the C4 will only be able to destroy a specific unit. I feel personally they should add splash damage, okay, because if you've only got a 1 unit base, okay, let's say you've just got one platform with 4 little walls around it. If they go through the wall, they at your loot, okay? But now we take a large clan. If they build a very ugly block base with 50 units in it, you're going to have to use like 50 C4s. Not necessarily 50 C4s, but to get to the main loot, you're probably going to have to use like 20 or 30 C4s, to get to the right unit. And that's going to make it so that everyone needs to build a massive base, which isn't a negative thing, which we will get to, because they are going to make all your wishes come true regarding base building and regarding that everyone can spawn at the same base, and everyone can build the same base. So yeah, that maybe that will counter it. Okay, I just see a lot of big freaking bases in the future. I don't see any small bases, and I do see multiple freaking units. Like there's not going to be any great designed bases like people have built in the past. People have really built really cool looking bases, but because of the rating system, I think they're going to implement, a small unit, small scaffolding. They're not really going to build big scaffolding, because then you're wasting. You've only got a radius where you can build your base. It's got that little bubble where you can build your base in. So building a large scaffolding will actually be negative. Unless one day they bring in vehicles, and they have showcased some vehicles in the links, but that's not for now. That's much later. But they are working on vehicles. So yes, large scaffolding will still be useful for vehicles, but before the vehicles comes in, no one's going to build a base with large scaffolding, okay? Because that's only one layer that the raiders have to go through. Everyone's going to build the small scaffoldings with, the minimum amount of little blocks in their base, so that they can make sure the raiders, have to blast through multiple layers to get to their base. I can even see people, if there's any way, like you can only snap the wall, to the sides of the scaffolding. But I can see people, maybe, I don't know, I can't really remember now, but if there's like sandbags, I can see people placing sandbags, all around, inside the room, so that the people, so the raiders have to go through the sandbag as well, because the C4 is only going to destroy the wall. So it doesn't matter how little health the sandbag has, they're still going to need to place the C4 on the sandbags, or whatever you can put in there to block the guy from getting to your loot. So yeah, I can see a bit of intense clustered base building happening, which isn't a positive for me, but the rating overall is a positive. I just feel they need to think about all these elements. That's why I say I think the splash damage is very important. They don't have to make the splash damage large, but let's say a small scaffolding is like 4 meters by 4 meters. I think they have to make the splash damage like 3 meters wide. Okay? Of course, you can destroy multiple platforms or multiple scaffoldings that's connected together. So, I just think they need to give it a little bit more thought. They've got a really exciting base rating system that I'm going to tell you guys about, which basically counters offline rating, which is a first for me. I just feel they need to give it a little bit more thought. Unless the C4 parts aren't astronomically difficult to get to, then maybe a large clan can collect enough C4s, to blow through wall after wall after wall. But of course, you're going to make a lot of noise. You can get counter-raided, and we're going to talk about that later. In any case, a compass helping, so that's basically it for the explosives. A compass helping players to coordinate their firing while in the squad, okay? So that if you're fighting another team, you can tell your friends, south or southwest, or any, I don't know, maybe, they say a compass. So I'm thinking south, southwest or whatever, or numbered coordinates on your compass or whatever. You're just going to be able to tell your friends where you're looking, instead of them having to open the map and seeing what way your character's looking. But yeah, that's it. The 2 new guns look cool, but like they say, they're going to add they're still adding items, okay? So everything is looking fantastic. And then a new activity, which is called a convoy, which, except for the freaking new base rating system, what I love in a game is when they give you new systems, okay? I love the system that they bring in. I just don't always love the way they implement it, okay? Like the traders, showing everyone where the trader is so that other people can just camp that trader. I showed in one of my videos, where I was literally hiding in the corner of the trader while trading with him, and even on a third-person server, the player still didn't see me, because I was tucked away in the corner while I was buying stuff from the trader, and then the guy just ran up to the trader thinking he can't see anyone, and I killed him, which was a negative experience for me. I didn't even loot the guy because I was busy with the guide, But I didn't even loot the guy because it's just negative gameplay. It's very, very negative for me. And that's one example I can give you guys of them implementing something that I think is really, really cool, but in a negative manner. The fact that everyone knows where the trader is, and you can get camped at the trader. Instead of just adding random traders, that explore the map, that walks on a road and you can run into the trader by mistake. And when you see where the trader is walking and you see the road that he's on, now you can quickly go to your base, and intercept the trader. Things like that. Just different ways to implement it so that the player base can't, make it toxic. But in any case, the convoy is a really cool system because what happens is you're going to have what I just want to see the exact saying that they said here. Okay, so it's a special forces unit, okay, will appear on the map at different times, traveling different routes, okay? And you will see them on the map. So again, just like the trader, you'll see this convoy, okay, of special forces on the map. And these groups will be quite dangerous, headed by a commander, which will carry a special container, basically a briefcase, okay? He'll be carrying a briefcase. So you'll have to kill all the AI and get the briefcase, okay? And then deliver the briefcase to a certain area on the map. But it's not that simple, because just like they will appear on the map, the briefcase will be known on the map at all times. So I'm thinking when they appear, you'll probably see the briefcase's icon appear on the map, or their icon. I don't know how they're going to do it, but since the briefcase is the main focus point here, as soon as you kill the commander that's got the briefcase and you pick the briefcase up, the briefcase's location won't disappear from the map. Okay, so everyone will know the briefcase's location on the map. So while you're running with the briefcase to the location where you need to deliver the briefcase, everyone will be able to hunt you down. Okay, so for a single player, I think this is suicide. I think this is suicidal. I can just imagine on a 50 pop server, the map isn't that big, guys. I can just see on a 50 pop server, people killing themselves, to spawn at a certain area. Or, on a full server, if the whole server sees you running with a briefcase, you're in some deep trouble. So I'm thinking that it will be a great option again for a squad. And if you want to try something impossible, depending on how far the location is where you have to drop off the briefcase, I think that's an adrenaline rush, which is crazy. So again, I don't see anything wrong with it. Yes, it of course promotes clans, large clans, so that their chances are better of getting this. And of course, it's mostly going to be clans that are doing big raids. I'm sure this briefcase is going to have like C4 parts or something in it, because they say the C4 parts are going to be very rare, but I'm thinking, what can this briefcase hold that's worth that risk? Okay, and the only thing that I can think about that's worth it for taking that risk is probably getting C4 parts. Okay, but still, the convoy is a really, really cool idea. So even if you're running with a briefcase and someone kills you and they pick up the briefcase never disappears from the map. Okay, so it doesn't matter how many people kill each other. The one that has the briefcase will be seen on the map. Everyone will see where he's running to. And until he gets to the destination, you can drop off the briefcase. Hopefully just he knows where this briefcase must go, okay? Because if everyone else knows where he's supposed to drop off the briefcase, that's bad, okay? Because then everyone can just camp the location that he's running to. And these are the things that I'm talking about, guys. These are the things that I think about in games. Again, if your clan kills another clan that had the briefcase, the problem is that whole clan will probably know where they had to deliver the briefcase to. And then they can quickly, get their loot from the Steam inventory or their base, because with the new base system, everyone will be able to spawn at a base, okay, that was crafted by all of them or constructed by all of them. So all of them can spawn at their base, gear up quickly and run to the location where they know the briefcase needs to be delivered to. Okay, because if they were the first ones that had the briefcase, then they can see the location where they have to deliver the briefcase to. And then, they get killed by another squad, and then they know, where the briefcase must go. Even a single player, if the map isn't very populated, a single player that has the briefcase doesn't even, okay, you still need to kill the AI, so you have to have some loot, but a single player can also do that. Get killed and then try and just camp the location where the briefcase is delivered to. It's not a big problem, but it's these kinds of things that I think about. But still, the convoy system and the base building system that they're going to bring in and the raiding system is something that I haven't seen in a game. But not really the convoy system, but the base raiding that's going to be impossible to do it offline, and the base building system, which has been done in other games. Okay, but basically the raiding and the convoy and the base building that you guys wanted, to share a base and build it together, and everyone spawns at the same base. All of you wanted that, so. They are doing a lot of things that you guys asked for, and more, okay? Which is a very, very positive thing for me. Again, my only worry is them implementing it right, but the player base has dwindled, and I feel it's these small details that I'm talking about, like with the traders. I feel it's these small things, that they are not thinking of that might hurt them. But in any case, then the next thing is the new territory. Okay, they're going to expand the map to the south. Okay, with new cool locations. Okay, so there's, what did they say? The one thing is going to be, they don't want the convoys to always travel the same routes. Okay, so of course the expansion of the map is going to give us a little bit more possibilities of where the convoy can spawn, and there's going to be a new seaport with huge cranes, okay, which are very convenient and attractive for camping, okay, probably by snipers with suppressors, and then some other villages, okay, new houses and other objects, okay. So of course we're going to have a seaport and some other new cool locations in the south. I think when I looked at the map, I just saw one military spot. Maybe that's the seaport. Okay, and then the other spots are usual placeholders. Hopefully they give us some new assets. Okay, they said new houses and other objects. Okay, so they have all the locations that they've added. Is at least not a copy and paste of all the assets, so that's quite cool. And now for the base raiding. Okay, so I already gave you the basis of the base raiding and the tripwire traps, but yes, basically what will happen is if you've got a base or you have a clan that constructed the base together, okay, then you guys will all be able to spawn at the base. You will all be able to build on the base, but you won't be able to destroy it. Okay, so I'm thinking you just have to be very careful with what parts you place, because it's just the captain of the clan, the leader of the clan that created the clan, that will be able to destroy the base. Okay, but everyone else that's registered in that clan or registered at the base. It's not necessarily the clan; it's the base that you will be registered to. And the thing is, you can't have your own base. Okay, you can't have your own base and then register on another base. So, best idea would be to no one to have a base, and then you guys just start building a base together. But in any case, everyone will be able to build, you'll be able to build the base together, which will be a great quality of life. You'll be able to spawn at the same base, which everyone wants. You'll be able to open the keypad locked doors easily because you're registered. You don't have to put in the code in every single time. And you'll be able to interact with all the crates. Okay, so that's a great thing. So what happens now is everyone that's registered at that base, if you get killed, there's a certain percentage chance, don't know what that percentage is, but there's a possibility that you will drop a dog tag in your inventory. Okay, and this dog tag will activate as soon as another player picks it up. So if a player kills you and he sees your dog tag, he puts it into his inventory, you will be notified that your base is can be raided for a certain amount of time. Okay? I don't know what that time is, maybe a half an hour, I'm not sure. Okay? And the player who picks up your dog tag will be given a rough estimate of where your base is. Okay? Not the exact location, just a very, very large area of where the base could be, so that the guy doesn't have to run the entire, doesn't have to look for your base over the entire map. You can just think for yourself. If they want to make sure that only online raids are taking place, and they get your dog tag so that they can, raid you now because you're online, then not knowing where your base is, they can't make that timer too long because, maybe you can't play for, let's say they make the timer 5 hours or a day. The player that needs to defend his base can't be, on the server for an entire day. So those guys are just going to wait until they, see no one's at the base, or no one came to defend the base. Just give it enough time so that they think the guy logged off. So they're probably just going to make it half an hour. And they have to give the raider or the guy who got your dog tag some indication of the area that your base is in. Otherwise, they're not even going to find your base in a half an hour, or they're not going to have a clue which base it is. Okay? That reminds me of something else. They can't make the signal of where your base is too big, because now there's 10 bases in that area. Okay? Now you're going to have to, you're going to have some signal that this is the base that you can raid. Otherwise, you're going to have to put C4 against the wall to see if the wall gets damaged. That's just going to be a poop show. A poop show all over again. It's these finer details again, guys, that I'm talking about. So for me, I don't really care if they narrow my base down, okay? Because it's to cancel offline raiding, okay? And then I've got the opportunity to defend my base. So I don't care if the dog tag shows him exactly where my base is, okay? I know the timer is there. If the timer isn't longer than a half an hour, I can focus on defending my base or camping my own base for the next half an hour or hour. I don't have to be inside my base. I can literally spawn at my base because I know they know now where my base is. No one else knows where my base is, just that clan. Or maybe that clan can tell all their friends. There's always these little things that can go wrong. This clan has alliances on the server, they can tell all their alliances, or just type in chat, guys, this is where the base is, whatever. I don't know. In any case, they know where my base is, so all I can do now is spawn at my base, get my loot, get my tripwire traps, place a bunch of tripwire traps around my base, just camp in a certain spot with a suppressor and a sniper rifle. Because the C4 will be able to destroy base parts, but it will be able to hurt players as well. I don't know if it will be able to hurt you right through the wall as it's blowing up the wall, but the C4 can be used to kill you as well. Okay, and they can throw grenades and everything. So I just don't want to be trapped inside my base. Okay. Especially with the way the bases are going to be created, the little block things. I don't want to be sitting in a block waiting for them to blow through the right wall. So I'll probably, get a perfect camping spot, which is very important if you think about your base location, okay? A lot of the times you want to hide your base, which is cool if you want to hide your base so that people can't find the base easily. But now that you can't be raided offline, my best bet, guys, is build your base in an open area with trees around it, but not at the base itself, okay? So that the base is built on an open section of field, okay? Where the raiders will have to expose themselves to raid you, but that the tree line still gives you perfect spots, like you can have a perfect spot to camp somewhere and shoot them while they're trying to raid your base, giving you the advantage because they have to go and stand against your base to place the C4. So whenever you see a person standing against your base, you can just shoot him in the head with your 50 cal sniper rifle with your suppressor, okay? Which, if anyone comes near you and you've got the ghillie suit with the suppressor and a sniper rifle, you should kill him with one shot if you've got the 50 cal. And then if the guy goes and stands against your wall to place a C4, you can just snipe him as well, okay? So just a few tips to use with this new system, okay, is to make sure that you build your base in an open area and make sure there's a tree line that you can use to defend your own base. You don't really want to be sitting inside the base. If you want to use your towers, if you want to use windows to defend your base, that's your choice, okay? Just an option that I'm giving you. But in any case, so if you've got a base and you get killed, there's a certain percentage chance that a guy can get a dog tag, which will notify the other player that his base is open to be raided for a certain amount of time. And then you can activate that dog tag, okay? Which will turn the player that you've killed, and you've got his dog tag now in your inventory. That player that you've killed will get a white text on the screen, which will tell him his base is open to be raided, but he doesn't need to panic yet. Basically, he does need to panic because the guy that has your dog tag can activate that dog tag at any time, and then your text will become red, saying that the player that killed you has activated your dog tag, and they're probably going to raid you now because they've activated the timer. Okay, so point one, if you get the notification that your base is open to be raided, you need to get to your base immediately. You need to spawn at your base, and defend your base. You can have various strategies that if you loot a person and you see the dog tag, maybe you don't want to remove the dog tag from his inventory immediately. Okay, that could be a strategy because you want to give him time to, if he spawns at his base, you want to give him time to run around a bit. Or you might not want him to spawn at his base. Maybe it's better for him just to spawn at a random location. But you can use that tactic. Okay, I don't know the exact details, but you could use a tactic where you don't grab the dog tag out of his inventory immediately. Okay, so that he can relax a bit. I don't see how that can really help you because he can just kill himself immediately and spawn at his base. Okay, so just another thing that you can think about, okay? If you guys can use it in any better way than I'm explaining it, then good luck with that. But in any case, so yes, he gets the warning that his dog tag's been picked up, and then the guy that got the dog tag has got the opportunity to activate it. Of course, if that person has got no C4s, no C4 components, and he can't craft C4, then it's basically useless, okay? Then he'll probably just have to keep the dog tag, but that won't help him. Because even if he picks up the dog tag, that dog tag has an expiration date. Okay? That the dog tag can't be used. So I'm thinking they put a lot of thought into this. And I've got hope for it. I've got hope for it. So I'm very excited about it. And then they just show, that they're playing with cars, but it's a very difficult system to get perfect. And I agree with them. It is a very difficult system to get perfect, but they are working on it. And it won't come in this update, but maybe in December. Maybe in December we've got vehicles. Who knows? But at the end of the day, guys, some really great systems. Very impressed that they've only been going for a year. Very impressed with all these things that they bring into the next update. Because I'm very honest with you, the first time that they announced something on Discord, they just spoke about the compass and the tripwire, and I was like like the expansion of the map they've mentioned quite a while ago, so, but it's not a big expansion, so I was excited about the expansion of the map in the south, but I wanted new features, so when they just spoke about the compass, I'm like, I don't really play in squads a lot, so it's not going to really help me, and then they say the tripwire, I don't even know if they mentioned the tripwire trap, but in any case, I just felt a bit meh. And now that I'm seeing this, I'm blown away with, if they say they're going to implement all of this in the next update. So this is going to be very exciting. Only thing that I need them to do is to, again, start on the experimental server. That's what the experimental server is there for, to stress test all the implements that they bring into the game, you know, stress tested to death, so that when they launch the update, you know, for everyone, that it can bring players back to the game. Because the worst thing that you can do with some really cool ideas like this is rush the update to the community, you know, and have negative feedback and just lose all the players, you know, that came back. So in any case, guys, if you like this video and all the explanation I'm giving, click the like button, you know. If you think I should have kept quiet like in 20 minutes ago, click the dislike button. And if you appreciate, you know, the information, the extra information that I've given you guys on the update, you know, again, just click the like button. And you know, if you want to get future information on Deadside, click the sub button and the bell button to be notified of future videos, guys. Hope you have a great day. I am very excited to see these new features, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.